4.4 Part 5, Example 3 tells us it wants us to just find the period and the phase shift of each function. So number 1 there starts out with y equals 2 cosine of 3x minus pi over 2. The big difference here is notice that now the 3 is inside the parentheses instead of out of it. So if we want to use A, B, C B and C to help us graph our x's, then we've got to be able to common factor that 3 out of it. We have to write it with the b value being in front of the parenthesis but after the trig function. So let's try that. So we would keep the y equals 2 cosine the same. Now we know we're going to have to common factor that 3 out, and that's going to leave us with x minus. But remember, when you common factor, you divide by it. So we're going to have to take that x minus 2 and divide it by 3. Well, if nothing else, remember, you can do keep it, change it, flip it, or multiply by that small denominator there that we don't like. So when we do that, then we have pi over 6. So that's another way to write this equation. Now using this, I can easily find my period and my phase shift, because we know that our period is 2 pi over b, and we know our b value in this problem is the 3. And so we just get that our period is 2 pi over 3. Our phase shift is just our c value when it's written in this form. And so our phase shift is going to be that negative pi over 6, so that means we're going to go to the right pi over 6. Alright, so look at part 2 then. It's the same thing, but they just use sine this time. So notice now our equation is y equals 3 sine of pi x plus 2. But again, I need my b value to be outside of that parenthesis after the trig function. So we're going to common factor that out. So we're going to pull the pi out, and we're going to divide both of these here by pi. So when I do that, I get x plus, and 2 over pi, well, we can just leave it as 2 over pi. It's not going to give us an exact value because pi is irrational. So now we can find our period. Remember, our period is 2 pi over b, and in this case our b is the pi, so our period comes out to be 2. And then to find your phase shift, we see that our c value is a positive 2 over pi. We know positive means we're going to go to the left 2 over pi. And so there is your phase shift.